Hello and welcome back to Sack to the Future 1971, week number 4. NFC North division rival, the Chicago Bears hosting the Minnesota Vikings. So the most important game of the week, as each week is, featuring the Chicago Bears. But the Bears at 1-2 need to get this win before the Vikings start pulling away. So a Bears win puts both teams at 2-2, tied for first. The Lions and the Packers are both going to be 1-3 at the end of week 4. So if the Vikings win, then you're talking about having a 2-game lead on everybody else in the division. So a must win for the Bears. Let's see how it plays out. Get this set up here. And there we go. Vikings are going to kick to the Chicago Bears. So hopefully the Bears can get a touchdown on the board after the first drive. There's Gale Sayers on the return up to the 27-yard line. Oh, Gale Sayers. That's what we've been scared of, although it did not look like he re-aggravated the knee injury. It looked like he was holding his back, which is better, I guess. He also did not leave the field, so maybe it's just a momentary discomfort. Either way, he's not back there to get this carry, so they have to give it to Shy, who does a good job with an 8-yard gain. And there's a handoff to Pinder, and he gets the rest of the way for the first down. So 2 different running backs used. Neither one of them were Sayers, though. He did do the kickoff return. Gale Sayers used a lot more in week number 3 than the previous 2 weeks. But now it looks like after aggravating something in what appeared to be his back on the first play, he has not been seen from since. Shy, however, does have 3 carries for 12 yards. Now Douglas drops back. He's going to tuck it and try to outrun the Vikings defense, but that's not going to work. Winston takes him down behind the line, and the Bears, unfortunately, will have to punt on their first drive. So after this game, we will have one further game to play in week number 4. That is the undefeated Cowboys will be hosting the 2-1 Saints. But first, we got some business to sort out. Gary Quazzo, 52 out of 88, 640 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Vikings are the first place, all alone in first place at the moment. If they beat the Bears, they take a commanding lead in the division. If the Bears can win again, everything will get real tight. Everybody will be within a game of each other. There's Brutbacher. He's back from injury. Oh, he's good to get people back. And there's Brown getting almost nowhere. Here's the Vikings offensive line. Alderman, White, Tingelhoff, Sunday, and Yari. Reed and Brown the backs. Voigt, Denson. 2 of the receivers, and I missed the other one. Quazzo has all day and then fires downfield. Incomplete. Bears are going to need a little bit more pressure than that. They were lucky that Quazzo missed, but they gave him all day. So again, as we've seen with divisional games already here in 71, the first drive from each team usually results in a punt. You see the Oilers took care of the Falcons. Redskins got rid of the Giants that was seen here on the channel. Dolphins are up to 3-1 as they beat the Chargers. Douglas drops back, and that is still a sack by Alan Page. The offensive lineman tried to pick up Douglas and throw him so that he crossed the line, but he came up short, so it is a sack. It's 2 different sacks already on Douglas. Bobby, the lefty, fires close to but short of the first down. Wow. That was read perfectly by the corner out there. I don't know what to say about that. Just not Charlie West not fooled at all. Dick Butkus is like, man, they saw that coming from a mile away. But he definitely had the beat on it, came in and broke it up. And the Bears left the punt for the second time. Oh, there's a nice move made by Mr. West, the man who just broke up the third down play. Has a nice little punt return. And the Vikings will start their own 41-yard line. Knocked away. The ball was there, but the defensive Taylor knocked it away. They're showing the 3-4 for whatever reason. Holman, Seals, and Obradovich. Butkus in the middle, Buffon and Bruckbacher are the outside backers. Don't worry about Rowden. Moore and Smith, the safeties. Taylor and Ford are the linebackers. The guy who was not shown, of course, is the other defensive tackle, which is Bill Staley. Not shown there because they give us the old 3-4 look, which is not really in the league yet here in the 71. Quazzo looking deep. He just overthrew his man by 1 yard for a touchdown, but it wouldn't have counted anyway, so that might make him feel a little bit better. He had split and defeated the defense, but Quazzo missed him, and that will allow the Bears to decline the penalty and get the Vikings to punt. Punt goes into the end zone. That's a touchback. All right, feeling out process is complete, I believe. 2 drives for each team. 4 punts in total, and now we're ready to start the scoring, I think. Although in this division, sometimes the defenses can keep the game pretty low scored throughout. Oh, what? Gordon, away from the play, comes up with an injury of his own. Gordon also used more in week number 3 than previous weeks. Oh, and he's actually running off the field. Not good. Sayers is hurt and has been on the bench ever since. Gordon's hurt and actually running off the field, which is an even worse sign. Not good for the Chicago Bears. Hand off to Pinder. Not Pinder. And he gets 2 yards. Douglas now fires downfield and missed by a pretty good margin. Douglas 1 of 3 to start the game, and the Bears are going to come out for their 3rd punt already. Well, neither the Bears nor the Vikings have anyone that's leading in any kind of categories or anything. Just a couple of teams that aren't doing anything exceptionally well or terrible yet. Kind of like middle of the pack. Vikings a little bit higher than the Bears in some of those stats. Bears a handoff to Brown. Decent gain last week. You see, he just missed the 100-yard mark by 1 yard, but he did get 2 touchdowns. On the season, he has 166 yards after 3 games, averaging a little over 55 per game. Now they give it to him again, and having none of it at all is Mr. Seals, the defensive tackle that was shown. And he brings up a 3rd and 2. The quick handoff to Osborne tries to take the Bears off guard, but Seals and company there again to give him the old denial. All right, so now each team has had 3 drives. We've had 6 total punts. So both teams going with the prolonged feeling out process. Here you see the Packers beat the Eagles. So that changes the dynamic in both divisions. The Packers finally get off the schneid, and the Eagles drop to 2-2. Redskins, meanwhile, improving to 2-2. So that puts the Giants in dead last. Eagles and Redskins are tied at 2-2. And of course the Cowboys, who we'll see later, are still undefeated. Have still yet to give up a sack. Speaking of sacks, the Bears are at -5 passing yards. Fires downfield. That's complete. Or maybe it was -5 rushing yards. Either way, they have more than 0 total yards. Douglas, a complete spin around, and then he finds his man, tight end. Tackled by West. Bob Wallace holds on. And, I thought for some reason that was bringing up 3rd down, but it brings up 4th down. He has problems catching the punt. Does get the punt away. That had the look of a block punt coming, but luckily Bears able to get the punt away, and West not much on the return. So Bears have had 4 possessions already in this first quarter, but 1 first down and 4 punts. The Vikings now on their 4th possession. And if to Osborne, he fires right through the middle of the defense for a gain of 19 yards. Now Quazzo back to pass. He's going to wait and fire downfield. He's got his man all the way down to the 32-yard line. Al Denson, one of the tight ends for these Vikings. There's one broken tackle, but the second tackler will not be denied. That's Doug Buffone. And that's a good tackle because that pushes it back to a 50-yard field goal. And here in 71, anything 50 or over 50 is in the doubtful category for field goal kickers. That could have been picked off. Quazzo fired over the middle. And it was almost interception by Joe Taylor. Now Quazzo will do a delay handoff to Brown, who scampers down to the 25-yard line, and that was just yardage for field goals right there. That gives Cox a much better chance to make this thing. No threat of getting a first down to keep the drive going, but definitely the threat is more real on the field goal. Cox comes out for a 42-yard attempt. Will get it off before the first quarter comes to an end, and it is good. So liked kicking on this side of the field better than switching sides. He makes sure he gets that through as the clock expires. So the Vikings strike first. At the end of 1 quarter, they lead their rival 3-0. Tucker on the return, so Gale Sayers now not even returning for the Bears. And it's not good. He seems to be legitimately hurt. Gordon has not come back either. Not the best situation. Of course, the Bears last year, after losing Sayers most of the season, didn't have the greatest of years, so we certainly don't want a repeat of limited to no Sayers. Douglas did get that ball across midfield, and now he will hand off to Shy, who gets hit in the backfield, loses 2 yards. That's the big nuisance, Alan Page. This defensive line of the Minnesota Vikings, I know they decided not to show it for whatever reason, maybe because all the punts were happening too fast. But the defensive line is a scary one, and Carl Eller and Jim Marshall on the edges. They've been doing it for a long time. Gary Larson and Alan Page in the middle. Page has been around the least amount of time, but probably already considered the best of the group. Although it is just an extremely talented defensive line. And hard to muster points against these Vikings, so the Bears have got to keep the Vikings down in points scored. 3-0. Hand off to Brown. Good job by the Bears. They just got to keep this. It's not impossible to score on the Vikings, so they can, expect to get a few points, maybe 14 or so. You can't expect to get 20 off of them very often. But if you can keep them low, under 14 points, you have a chance. Defense has got to show up, though, when playing the Vikings. 3rd and 5. Got to be good on this play. Quazza will go short, and nice tackle made. That's what you got to do. Got to come up and wrap up. The Bears, kind of an embarrassing performance last week. But Jerry Moore and company back to playing sound defensive football, which is always good. Makes me happy as a Bear fan. Like I said, the fact that they punted over and over and over, I can be more comfortable. Oh, Gale Sayers is back. That's awesome. Didn't do anything on that one, but he is back in play. Maybe limited. We'll see if he comes out to run at all. But I can't take, as a Bears fan, is a pathetic defense. Pathetic offense. Well, yeah, what else is new? Pathetic defense. It's too hard. So they do give it to Gale Sayers, and he only gets 1 yard, but he's back, which means that was just a minor cramp or whatever in his back, and nothing serious. Douglas fires, completes, and then one move made, and he's going to go all the way down. Kept going and going down to the 11-yard line, so it turns into a pretty big gain. Seymour. That's Jim Seymour, the second-year receiver out of Notre Dame, right down the street from Chicago here. I mean, not literally. But what a nice play that was. Former first-round pick by the Los Angeles Rams. Second and 12 now for the Bears. Down by 3 here. Almost midway through the second quarter. Handoff and nothing doing for Shy. 6 carries for 7 yards. 3rd and 14. Let's see what Douglas can do here. Steps up, throws it, incomplete. And that will bring out the kicking team. Interesting facial expression there from Bobby Douglas. This kick is good. Mac Percival on the kick. drills it through, and we are all tied up at 3 here in the second quarter. Bear down, Chicago Bears. 8 minutes to go, and the Vikings will take over, throwing 25-yard line. You see the Bears have the lead in total yards now. Quazzo turns, fakes to Brown, in trouble. Down he goes, big sack. That Seals having himself a game so far. I don't ever need to see that dance again. Just over 7 minutes to go now. Quazzo back to pass. He'll throw to the sideline. That's complete. Got his feet down, I believe. Maybe not. Did they say he landed out of bounds? 3rd and 18. Quazzo will throw short. No intention of picking up the first down. Just let Brown. Oh, no. No intention of even getting the first down. But the Bears bring Brown down with a retaliatory face mask pull after he lays out his teammate. Charlie Ford comes, drags him down by the face mask. And that is an automatic first down. And the Vikings all the way up to their own 40 now. Undisciplined play there from the Bears, and now Quazzo's going to make him pay as he completes a 20-yard pass to flip field from their 40 to inside the Bears 40. Stu Vaught, the recipient of that pass. And here we go. Make a mistake, undisciplined for a minute. There's a nice recovery defensively. See if they can stop them right here. They're not in field goal range yet. 2nd and 15, Quazzo. The delay, and then the fake, and then, oh, he couldn't get the ball off. It looked like maybe he was going to try to fire downfield. I don't know if he thought better of it or if he was stopped from doing so by Ross Brubacher, the no longer injured linebacker from Texas A&M. The 100th pick of last year's draft. And there is another sack. So the Chicago Bears, Holman gets home that time. The Bears turn on the defense after the penalty. Willie Holman, of course, the former 7th-round draft pick by the Chicago Bears in the 1968 draft out of South Carolina State. He has turned himself into quite a nice player, and he gets a big sack there. And a horrendous punt by the Vikings. And the Bears pick it up, and they get there across the 40, 50, 40. What a sneaky little play there. Some would call it dangerous, but Charlie Ford ends up taking the Vikings by surprise. A horrible punt, and then he returns it 26 yards as he surprised the Vikings. He almost went for the whole enchilada there, and a very risky but rewarding play. Now the Bears have sensational field position to start here. And Pinder gets dragged down by the face mask. So even Steven as far as roughing penalties, face mask penalties go. And now it's the Bears. Jim Marshall lost his discipline there. And the Chicago Bears already in field goal range. Here we go. Douglas, there's a handoff to Mr. Shy. 4-yard gain. Again, with the Bears win, we'll have a tie for first in this division. Absolute brilliance. Gale Sayers, 3 carries, no yards. Still waiting for him to make an impact this season. Still not sure that he's all the way back from the horrific injury. Douglas completes again to Seymour. Seymour showing up in a big way today. That brings up a 1st and goal. Just over 2 minutes to go. See if the Bears can put this in the end zone. Douglas is going to run for it. 5. He's not going to be able to break a tackle. He's going to go down to the 3-yard line. First run of the day for Mr. Douglas. Douglas not afraid to run the ball. Oh, takes a sack from Alan Page again. Alan Page already up to 10 freaking sacks. This is only week 4. And now Bobby Douglas thought he had a lane to run, but it was shut down immediately. Well, Alan Page, I believe, is the quickest guy. Well, yeah, because Bob Lilly may have already had 10 in 3 weeks, but it's definitely coming down to an Alan Page versus Bob Lilly, who's the Defensive Player of the Year honor. But despite all that Alan Page crap, the Bears are winning 6-3. One and a half to go. Let's see what Quazzo wants to do here. Quick drop. Fires incomplete. 4 of 10 here in the first half. Quazzo, another quick drop. And this time it's knocked away. They went back to the slant too many times. And Jimmy Gunn is able to knock that one down. Hand off to Brown just to try to make the Bears use a timeout, which they will do. And the Vikings are going to have to punt again. So the Bears defense doing what it needs to do. You got to keep these Vikings under 15 points to have your best chance to win. Another short punt, and this time the Bears stay away from it. But something's going on with the punting for the Minnesota Vikings. And the Bears will not be too upset to take advantage of that, but you gotta wonder what is happening. Oh no. Douglas throws it. He's looking for his receiver, but it's picked off and taken to the house. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Man. They get another terrible punt by Lee of the Vikings. Looks like they're going to have good field position, possibly able to at least put another field goal, but instead, Carl Kasulki, the longtime safety in his 9th year now, jumps in front, picks it off, and takes it the distance. And just like that, the Bears throw away the lead and now trail 10-6. What a deflating moment for the Bears. Here now, after that interception, we'll see if they're a little gun shy and just have Douglas kneel on it or hand off and go into the locker room down 4, or if they try to make up for that mistake and get the lead back before the half. Douglas, hopefully he's able to shake that off. He fires and completes, not quite a first down, but up to the 45-yard line. Douglas goes short to his tight end, and he actually may have lost the yard, so that was just taking time off for no reason. Got to go farther downfield. Oh, that should have been intercepted again, but dropped by the linebacker, who was completely thrown off guard that the ball was kind of thrown right to him. The Bears will just punt to try to avoid any further disasters. That is a punt, a good punt, but it takes a crazy bounce and goes into the end zone for the touchback. But it was high enough to take a few seconds off the clock, so the Vikings only have 19 seconds left. I'm sure they're just going to hand off. And as long as the Bears tackle, that Vikings should not even call timeout. That should be it. It is. So we go to the halftime. Bears, unfortunately, Douglas threw away a possible lead, and the Bears trail by 4. Still doing a good job on defense, but just now losing by 4 points. Again, if the Bears win, they're tied with the Vikings in first. If the Bears lose, they move into a three-way tie with the Lions and Packers for last place, and all three of those teams will be 2 full games behind the Minnesota Vikings. Are you reminded of some scores from earlier? Patriots beat the Bills. Rams lead the semi-pro team from Tampa Bay late in the first half. Rams still undefeated. Cardinals. It's not even halftime yet, and it's already 34-0. So the Cardinals trying to, kind of the forgotten team. I keep talking up the Cowboys and the Chiefs as the best teams on their respective sides. And then recently I'm starting to throw the Rams, and there's the Rams have looked good. But the Cardinals are sitting there at 4-0. And it's just the strength of schedule that has stopped me from giving the Cardinals their due. But if they keep winning, then they have to be recognized. Another horrible punt by Lee. And the Vikings tap it down. So the Bears get great field position. I don't know if Lee is hurt or something. There's a handoff, 40-35. Gale Sayers gets his best run of the day. 4 carries, 8 yards now. There's a fake, and Douglas keeps it himself, but Marshall not fooled at all. He's, of course, spin around. That's the thing about the Vikings defensive line. It's very talented, but also very experienced. Lots of years as a combined unit. There you go. Big broken tackle by Shy, and then he's able to show some acceleration to get away from the second defender and get the first down. So that was just a good single individual effort by Don Shy. And now the Bears have the ball at the 14. There's a pitch out to Gale Sayers. He gets a block, spins his way off of a tackle in the 10 and gets down to the 3-yard line. There's a little bit of magic from Gale Sayers. Oh, the Bears could desperately use the magical Sayers again. There's motion. Will the Bears even get this play off? They do get it off. Hand off to Pinder. And now Pinder comes up. Ooh, holding his leg. He looked pretty upset about that. We'll have to see what the Pinder injury is all about. 10:43 to go in the third. Bears on the doorstep of taking the lead. Douglas rolls out. He's going to be in a race against... Oh, no, he gets hit and fumbles the football. The Vikings pick it up, and it's the Vikings ball at the 13-yard line. An absolute worst-case scenario. It looked like Douglas was running for the pylon, and then all of a sudden he realized he was going to lose that race, but Paul Krause hit him, forced the fumble. Vikings recovered, and now right off that, Quazzo comes out and fires a 30-yard pass to Denson, and now the Vikings have the ball already up near midfield. Just a back-to-back gut punch there. The 1-2 combination. Butkus comes up with a tackle. 2nd and 8. And Quazzo will fire deep again, and this time he overshoots his receiver. Quazzo 6 of 15. Again, the Bears defense has not given up the huge play. I mean, that 30-yard play was the biggest play they've given up. But they've been good against the pass, good against the run. They haven't forced turnovers, and their offense has turned the ball over, and that's why they trail 10-6. Brown now 15 carries, 40 yards, 2nd and 3 coming up. Quazzo drops back. He's got time. He fires and knocked away. Good defensive coverage in the secondary again. 3rd and 3. Which way are the Vikings going to go with this? They are going to send their receiver in motion. And then Quazzo drops back. And Quazzo has nowhere to go with it. Just throws it incomplete. And the Bears have stopped the Vikings one more time. Let's see. The Bob Lee with perhaps an injury. No, that time the punt looked fine. Interesting. So Lee appeared to be okay on that one. But he had 2 or 3 punts in a row that were just disastrous. So now we're back to Gale Sayers, 6 carries. That's nice. And he's done been on the field at least for a couple of returns lately, so I think that he's okay. There's a fake to Shy, and then Douglas gets sacked anyways. That's sack number 3 for Alan Page. Oh boy. Gonna have to start double teaming Page. I know they have a bunch of other talent, but Page is the only one destroying you right now. There's Douglas unable to get to the line, so that's actually going to count as a sack as well. So the Bears have allowed at least 5 sacks between those 2 players. Probably more than that. What a friggin' punt. He punted it, completely shocked the returner, and went over his head, bounced to the 20, then bounced and continued to roll all the way down to the 5. That's like a 70-yard punt or so, including the bounce. So exactly what the Bears defense needed, someone to step up and help them. A punter obliges. And now Brown will spin his way down to the 11-yard line, or up to the 11-yard line. Now Quazzo drops back. Bears trying to play defense complete underneath, and they come up and make the tackle. So it's going to put the Vikings in a 3rd down situation. If the Bears can stop them here, they should have good field position. There's the pitch out, and the Bears play it beautifully. Brown just 43 yards on 17 carries, so the Bears are going to get the ball back in good field position. If Lee has one of those horrible punts again, let's see. Much better looking punt from Lee, but still the Bears will start on the Viking side of the 50. No excuse to not get points on this drive. They should be getting at least 3 points here, and we should have a 1-point game. Worst case scenario, the Bears should be within a point by the time the 4th quarter starts here. Or at least by the time this drive is over. See if the Bears take a long enough drive to go into the 4th quarter. There's a throw. The hit breaks it up. So he just hit too hard. Hit too hard, unable to hold on to the ball. 3rd and 8, and they probably need the 8 for the field goal. So going short like that is not going to be good enough for a field goal, but they're going to try it anyways. I don't think he's going to make it from here. This could be a mistake going for this. They should have just played. Ooh. It is no good. He got closer than I thought he would. Some pretty good leg strength there shown, but not enough. So now the Vikings have great field position. That's why it's a mistake to go for field goals of that length here in 1971. Brown fights his way across midfield. Now the Vikings offense probably doesn't feel like they deserve to be on top, but they are. So being that you're up top 10-6 with such a great defense, you just need to continue not turning the ball over. Taking time off the clock and not turning it over is how you're going to win this game. Bears hoping that they can't be okay with that, and they keep trying to force the ball through the air, which Quazzo is going to do, but this time he hits his open receiver, but his receiver only got 1 foot down in bounds, so that's a generous play. And that'll keep the Vikings offense off the field as they look to punt. Now Lee's back to his punt, although that might have been on purpose because that was very high, forcing a fair catch. Gale Sayers a couple more yards. Starting to wonder if this just is what Gale Sayers is. I mean, he's back from the injury, but doesn't seem to be the flash, untouchable, super move guy. Seems like he just kind of gets hit and taken down by the first guy he meets. So we're not sure if it's still trying to get back, just a rough start to the season, or if that's unfortunately what Sayers is going to be the rest of his career. Graham leads the Vikings offense back out there. Again, the Vikings offense hasn't done anything. It's been their defense that has kept the Vikings on top. There's that completion just in time as big old number 30 was trying to knock that ball out, but unable to. It's 10-6 Vikings. Big second down play here. Again, if the Osborne, I don't know. He gained a yard, but was it a full yard? It was. So that brings up a first down. They were chopping Butkus, but he was able to keep balance and get the tackle after a 4-yard gain. And up to Brown, and it's Butkus making the tackle once again. 3rd and 3. They just got 2 plays for 7 yards. Will they go for try to get another 3-yard ground gain? Pitch out to Brown away from Butkus, but the rest of the Bears are there to make the stop. So the Bears defense once again doing its job. Just asking for the offense to do anything here. 1 touchdown drive could be enough to win this divisional game. But they're starting to run out of time. I mean, still 12 minutes to go. But at some point, you got to figure out something offensively. Douglas fires downfield and finds the Viking cornerback. Ed Shirachman. He has been a pain in Sack to the Future for some time now. And the Vikings have sensational field position because of the 3rd Bear turnover. And that's, again, the Vikings offense. What have you done? Well, number 1, not turn the ball over. That's it. That's all. With this good of a defense that the Vikings have, all the offense really has to do is make maybe a couple 3rd down conversions and no turnovers, and they win the game. Oh, there we go. A big hit, fumble forced, but unfortunately the Vikings pick it up. Doug Buffon on one side and big old number 31, Ross Bruckbacher on the other side. And Quazzo, the Quazzo sandwich. Oh, look at this. The field goal is blocked. Picked up by the Bears, and he's gone. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Chicago Bears. Well, there you go. The Vikings' only touchdown was an interception return for a touchdown, and now you see Smith picking up the field goal block and returning it for a touchdown. So 10:44 to go in this game, and the Bears suddenly have the lead again, 13-10. So each team gets a touchdown, but neither gets a touchdown from their offense. The offensives have only been able to pull out 3 field goals in total. And it's the Bears who lead the Vikings now 13-10. So there you go. Block kicks do count as turnovers. So again, when the Vikings don't turn the ball over, they win, but there's a turnover, and it gives the Bears 7 points. And now the Bears have a chance to win this game. Now Quazzo fires in the multitude of Bears. Nobody comes up with it, though. Quazzo drops back again, and he's going to go short. It's complete. He throws an elbow at Buffon, knocks him down, but Buffon able to still steer him out of bounds. 50 plays now, 25 runs, 25 passes. The Vikings being very balanced. But now they have a 3rd and 9. Fake play action pass, and picked up and thrown to the ground by Holman. His 2nd sack, and the Bears are going to get the ball back with the lead. So now things are looking the right way here from Chicago. Okay, here we go. I just said maybe we'll have to get used to the fact that Gale Sayers doesn't have the moves that he did before, but he showed a little bit of a retro action there, going back to the Sayers that we were accustomed to before last season's injury, and looking good on that one. Made 3 or 4 good moves to get that yardage. And now Douglas, unable to make any moves, but does get 2 yards. 2nd and 8 coming up. Douglas is going to tuck it and run. He gets away from the defensive line across the 40 and slides before he can get his head taken off. So Douglas has now scrambled 5 times for 14 yards. Little tribute to Spider-Man there. Douglas, a huge Spider-Man comic reader. Handoff to Gale Sayers, and he gets his best run of the day. And here now the Bears' offense is motivated and actually doing things. And on top of doing things with the yardage, they're also milking that clock. We're down to 7 minutes to go. There's a fake handoff, and Douglas Houston himself gets maybe 1 yard. Clock continues to run. We're down to 6.5. Douglas fakes the handoff, and now he's going to take off and run 40-35. So Douglas has now run 7 times for 20 yards. I think 3 of those scrambles have been on this drive. We're down to under 6 minutes to go. A big 3rd and 4th here. The Bears still need a timeout, I believe, or still need a 1st down. Oh, Douglas just misses his receiver, and now decision time. They are going to punt. They're going to bypass a 52-yard field goal attempt because it's just too hard. Green gets the punt away, and it will go into the end zone, but again, it wasn't blocked, so that's still a victory. And the Vikings will start at their own 20, and now the clock is going to become a factor. The Vikings can still do whatever they want. They can still run down to get in the field goal or even touchdown range, so it's not a huge factor yet. But if they don't do anything on this drive, it could be a really big factor next drive. Oh, Quazzo just kind of puts the ball. Okay, it was knocked out. Good Bears hit because he just kind of threw the ball up there, fluttered like it was a punt or something, and almost came down in the hands of a Viking. This time, Quazzo throws a little more mustard on it, and that's complete for a 1st down. Under 5 minutes to go. Quazzo drops back to pass again, and again the Bears don't get close to him, so he's able to throw it towards the sidelines, but misses man. Quazzo 11 of 28. Quazzo drops back again to throw. And scans the field, fires, completes. 1st down. Obradovich way out in coverage, makes the tackle. Vikings near midfield, they're down by 3. Quazzo to throw again. And that's intercept. No, he drops the interception. That is going to be pass interference anyways. So pass interference on Joe Taylor. It looked like he had the interception after it dropped the ball, but it was a penalty anyways. Quazzo going to throw again. He's looking deep. Oh, he was just throwing that one away. Quazzo, there's still 4 minutes to go, and the Vikings have all 3 timeouts, so they don't need to keep throwing every pass. And so now he will go ahead and hand off, but not much there, so maybe they were throwing because they knew they couldn't run against the Bears. Here's a big 3rd and 9. If the Bears stop him here, Vikings cannot kick the field goal. Quazzo fires and misses downfield, so now interesting call here. Will they punt? No, they're going to try the field goal from 55 yards. I don't think Cox can make this, but we will see. He kicks it, gives it everything he's got, and I think he did make it. Fred Cox says, I'm no ordinary kicker from 1971, as he absolutely obliterates that ball through the uprights, and the Vikings have tied the Bears. So unfortunately, Fred Cox picks today to become a super kicker and drill a 55-yarder. Gale Sayers seemed to be doing moves for absolutely no reason, and gets only up to the 22-yard line. Okay, total yards 184 to 183, so neither team has cracked the 200-yard mark, and they're almost exactly identical. The score is identical, 13-13, and there's Gale Sayers breaking a tackle, and he has now hit 51 yards, so his biggest outbreak of the season so far as he hits the 50-yard mark for the first time in 71. And now they're going to hand it to him again. And now, just like that, he's back under 50 yards. Alan Page, on top of all those sacks, is also hitting running backs behind the line. 2-minute warning. It's Bears 13, Vikings 13, all locked up. Looking like it might be headed for overtime unless the Bears can pull something out here. And I guess one of the things they could pull out is turning it over. Hopefully that's not the case. There's a completion, but he actually loses yards. It would have been better to drop it. 3rd and 15, what do you do here? You might just hand off and take the Vikings timeout away. They do just that. Vikings stop him immediately, call the timeout, and the Bears are just banking on that timeout meaning something. So they take it away. And Green now has a horrible punt. So there's just a lot of wind here today against punters punting in this direction. So that is a very small net gain on that punt. And now the Vikings have it at the Bears 42 with a chance to go for the game-winning field goal soon. Not good. Brown gets a couple yards. Bears have got to stop them from getting a first down. If they give up a first down, the kick just gets too easy. There you see Brown fighting with everything he's got. Bears calling timeouts. 1:19 to go. Bears still have 2 timeouts if they can stop him here. But Cox has already made from 55. And off to Brown. Gets the first down and more inside the 30. So now the Bears can't do anything about it. The Vikings can take this all the way down to 1 second before they kick the field goal. Bears hoping to rip the ball out of somebody's arms. Let's see. Hand up to Brown. He's got 2 hands covering the ball. Down he goes. That's the last time out for the Chicago Bears. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Hand off again. Look at Brown just covering it with both arms. Gets another first down. Gets all the way inside the 15-yard line. And Fred Cox is definitely enjoying this as the field goal just keeps getting easier and easier. 44 seconds to go now. They'll turn, they'll give it to Brown again. Again, 2 hands on the ball. Breaks the tackle at 10-5 and gets all the way into the end zone. So Brown with 2 hands on the ball, just making sure at absolute least he goes down with the ball still in his hands and then breaks a couple of tackles and finds himself in the end zone by the time he falls down. So I guess the good news for the Bears is they will get the ball with time instead of a last-second field goal would not allow them to get the ball back. But the bad news, of course, is they need a whole touchdown now, not just a field goal. So we can use a big return here. Gale Sayers gets up to and very close to the 30, but we'll say 29-yard line. So here we go. No timeouts. If they go up the middle, they can do a couple 12-yard passes up the middle and then maybe a Hail Mary, or they can do one big chunk play. Or, of course, they can use the sidelines. They try to use the sidelines. It's picked off. But Bryant, did he get that second foot down? If he got the second foot down, this game's over. That's what they're calling. They're saying that indeed Bryant got both feet down. I'd like to take a look. Douglas throws it, Bryant all over. Oh, did he drag that left foot? Oh, he did. What a jerk. Bryant acting like a receiver on defense. Picks off Douglas. That's 4 turnovers for the Chicago Bears. The Bears scored 6 offensive points and turned the ball over 4 times. At least their defense was pretty good, though. Vikings get the win here from Soldier Field, 20-13. Vikings improved to 3-1. Bears drop to 1-3. It just doesn't seem to be the Bears' year again. It definitely seems to be Alan Page's year, though. There you see the Vikings won in the air by 2 yards. They won on the ground, but it wasn't a blowout yardage-wise. The problem was the 4 turnovers to 1. So anyways, thank you for watching. Next game will be the Cowboys and Saints, and I'm going to try to squeeze that in tonight if possible. So let me get a drink, and I mean, if I'm not back in like 10 minutes, that means I'm not coming back. I'm going to try to come back and do some Cowboy Saints. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.